there's still such a combination of, both technical and cost and infrastructure, and all of these require advances on several fronts somewhat simultaneously to create a tipping point. And more likely is that there's advances in one area and other areas are holding it back a bit, and then there's advances in another area. So there's a lot of, maybe more than some other innovations, there's a lot of chicken and egg situations.
The panorama is changing according to the discovery connecting to the innovations and the R&D coming from car makers, coming from public institutions, and so on.
It's a social problem, it's a climatic problem, it's an ecological problem. It's also a problem because it becomes more and more a question for the customers. So they are more and more interested by that, and for us it's one of our main priorities.
But it's complicated because consumers are used to liquid fuels, which have very fast refueling, can't refill at home, and you can refill en route, you have long range. So electric cars are different in all those respects. They're really more convenient in that you do most of your fueling at home while you're parked or in a parking garage. You only rarely need to refuel away from home. Whereas a gasoline or diesel car, you're always refueling away from home. On the other hand, you have more limited range, so when you take a longer trip, you have to find some way to refuel. So the challenge then, to summarize, is to provide both a consumer understanding that this is really quite different from what they're used to, although it looks like a car. It works in a different way. And equally to have the combination of refueling infrastructure and a vehicle that can make the best use of it. And I don't think we've really solved that problem yet.
The possibility is that hybrids will grow faster, and the faster hybrids grow, the less room there will be for people to go straight to electric vehicles. Eventually, it helps with the transition, but in the short term, it may slow the number of people who go all the way to the pure electric vehicle.
Going from a pure car industry, selling a unique product, to an automobility industry, selling maybe a product, but not sure that we will sell a product only. We will sell also a service and many services. So it means that it changed the entire business model of the industry. And so the question is, of course, what strategy is the best in order to reorganize the positioning of the different actors within this new industry. But the second question is how to organize the relationship between the actors.
The companies are trying very hard not to have the automobile become a kind of commodity, like a plain personal computer that seems interchangeable. That how to make the kind of experience and the attachment to the vehicle something more like the way people feel about their phones or their electronic devices. It's tough, but that's I think it's important to keep that more emotional connection aspect as well as the technical and policy aspects in our minds. Young people seem not to view car ownership as such a necessity. They take longer to get their driver's licenses. They may not buy a car, or they buy a used car as a very practical thing. It's not like a love affair.
In this industry, we can observe 3 stages. The first stage is when cars was kind of a mean of transportation, but a beautiful mean of transportation. The car has to be seen, it's kind of show off. Remember, not a long time ago, there are some concours d'élégance where you present yourself, your car, and your dog. Okay. Then today, car is more something like it's not a smartphone on wheels, but close to this, with a lot of electronic. I don't know if it's a beautiful and elegant product, but it's very complex product. High technology products. and new forms of mobility appeared. And then the third stage will be probably some cyber cars with no drivers. And probably we will not, I don't know, but maybe we will not need cars anymore because some sociologists are talking about the demobility period. Demobility means that we will not have to be mobile.